Hello, dear friends. I'm Roland Günther, homeopath in Royston on Vancouver Island. And today, thank you again for joining me tonight. And I want to talk a little bit about karma, law enforcement, cause and effect. In the East, we call it karma, that things have an effect. Here in the West, we usually talk more about cause and effect. That's more simple. One thing I definitely want to say, sometimes karma or has it has a flavor of punishment. That is for sure not true. There's nobody sitting up there punishing us at the end of the day. This idea of punishment or that at the end of the day there's the bill, we're gonna get the bill, that comes from our childhood when we did something that was not okay and then we're scared when dad comes home. But that has nothing to do with God, has nothing to do with life, really, with the sacred laws of life. They don't need that. They don't need punishment. They simply have an effect. So when we do something that's out of alignment, that's not in alignment with the sacred laws, then that will have negative consequences for us. And not just on the end of the day, it starts right away, but we're going to come to that a little bit. So why do these laws not need law enforcement? Because they are written into the very fabric, into the very substance, into the very process of life itself. These are the laws that life follows. And when we follow these laws, then our life has a certain elegance, a beauty, a flow. It's often easier a little bit. Yeah. And when we don't, then we're out of alignment and then it gets harder. Imagine um, when we do something that's not okay, for example, we steal something or we betray something or we hurt somebody in a certain way. There are two things that are happening. One thing, whatever we do, it has a backlash at us right away, immediately. Imagine I stand up and I stretch my arm out to the side. My whole body has to lean a little bit towards the left side in order to balance that. That means here I go out of this alignment of the median. When I do that, I got to lean a little bit to the other side. This is the effect that any action of ours has right away, immediately. And of course, later on, this arm will come back to us. As long as the arm, that's a great thing. But when it's something that was not so great that we did, it also will come back to us after a time, after a shorter or longer time. It's like an echo. You know, we send something out and the echo comes back. What goes around comes around. So, because everything in life is round, everything is a circle, these things have to come back to us. So, imagine everything that we do has consequences and is it being reinforced or not? I don't know. However you want to say, yeah, it does not need an enforcement because it does that itself. Life gets harder. That's right away. So, and because when it comes back later, sometimes we don't understand why that happens to us. Because what we did can be a long time ago, or it can be even generations ago. Things have consequences and they are longer than a lifetime necessarily. I know there's people that talk about past lives and that the next lifetime there's something coming back to us. That's possible, but this is not my expertise. I don't know much about that, how that works. But here in this life, I definitely know that these things come back. And I remember once somebody um, it gave me good wishes and said, I hope if you do something wrong, you never get caught. And I thought about it and felt, what a nonsense. Why, if I do something wrong, I want to be able to see the consequences. Yeah, to do something that doesn't have an effect or I don't know about the effect, that means the effect comes in a time when I'm completely unaware of it. I prayed since then for, hey God, let things come back to me soon so I can understand where they come from and what I did. What that is the answer to what life gives me. So, how is that, you might ask, for people like the ICE agents now in the US? They also create karma in what they do. Is it their personal karma? Partially, it is their personal karma, and they will have to take care of them in one way or the other. If our law enforcement, the human law, will do that, I don't know. But the divine law, for sure, yeah, there's an aspect that they will have to take responsibility for themselves. There's another aspect that is similar to soldiers. Yeah, what soldiers do in the war are often crimes against humanity, crimes against everything what's sacred, crimes against life. But it's not their personal stuff only. Yes, there's a part of it that's personal, but there's another part of it that comes back to all of us because they go in our name as a people, as a nation, we send them out. So this is a little bit similar to these ICE agents. The the results will come back and will hit us all because we are part of that. So the Judgment Day, you might ask, I don't think there's something like that. I think Judgment Day comes again from our childhood. It's in the evening when the bill comes for what we did during the day when Dad comes home. I don't think that that works like that. Judgment Day is every day because every day has consequences right when we do and comes back in time. Our life is our judgment. Our life is the partially at least, not completely. There's things that are not in our power to influence. There's other things, yeah, but partially our life is the result of what we do and what we create. Let me give you a few examples. Logging of old growth forest, for example. I'm sure that this has bitter consequences. We lose the wisdom aspect of nature, and that means also that the wisdom aspect in us, this grandfather, grandmother aspect, the wise one in us, that it's more distant or harder to access. It might also mean that we have a harder time to access our ancestors. And in that way, this comes back to us. Another example would be species leaving. With every species leaving, I feel a little bit more alone. Whoever is leaving in this web of life, if we're aware of it or not, and a feeling something is missing, somebody is missing in the web of life, and it makes us feel more alone. If we know it or not, we can feel that. And maybe this is what Leonard Cohen meant in one of his songs. He says, and if you're not feeling holy, your loneliness says that you've sinned. Maybe that's it. Thank you for listening today, and maybe we'll see each other again. Take care. Bye.